Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, from Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the NXT Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling happenings from the WWE Superstars of tomorrow, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans, 1977, episode 2524 of the show. How's it going, everybody? It is September the 9th, 2025, 10:04 p.m. NXT is just about over. First and foremost, before we get started, I want to thank everybody who has attended my live stream here on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. And, if anybody new to the live stream has come in and want to say hello and want to know what it's all about, please, feel free, I do appreciate the Q&A, the Q&A session. I thought it was a really good idea. We'll keep on doing that, and feel free to ask me any questions if you want to get to know me, or if anybody new comes in the live chat. Feel free to ask me any questions about getting to know me, who I am, what I'm all about, and all this good stuff. And I will gladly give you the answers that you need and you seek. So. I'm not the man with all the answers, but I'm going to I'll answer the questions as best I can, and I do appreciate support. And I know it was not easy to talk about what I talked about today, and it was a big challenge. But I thought it needed to be said. I thought some answers. Well, I thought I would explain myself why I did what I did, as far as unfriending and blocking an individual that I will never mention, and because he's banned from my channel. His name will be never mentioned again. And if he's got a problem with it, listen, I'm doing this. I did it for my safety. You know what I mean? So with all due respect. So, but I do appreciate those who have supported my channel. Continue on for the support, and I'm very, very happy about that. So, keep up the support. I'm glad to do these live streams. For you guys, for you good people out there, and I figured, and I want to thank the Bofa boys for promoting that the live streams that I do yesterday. I do appreciate that wholeheartedly, and keep up the great work, guys. Love you guys. All right, aloha shaka bra. Let's get to it. NXT, the final NXT before NXT Homecoming to Full Sail next week. NXT can get crazy. It's gotten seriously crazy. Let me tell you. Worlds Collide coming up this coming Friday. You got SmackDown. You got Evolve tomorrow. It's a rolling barrel, folks. And I'm going to tell you, also the answer to the age-old question: why was the contract signed between Io Sky and Stephanie McMahon canceled? We might find our answer here tonight, because coming out, Javon Evans, who bursted through the crowd, and he says, I want Josh Briggs right now. And Josh Briggs comes out, those two start fighting. Ava says, you know what, let's get the match going, get the bell rung. And it was a heck of a matchup. And until Josh Briggs, tries to use a steel chair, referee grabs the chair, puts it down, but then Josh Briggs uses his chain to knock out Javon Evans. Ends up pinning him in the middle of the ring. And Josh Briggs ends up winning the matchup due to some cheating. I don't think this is going to be over yet. I think once Javon Evans finds out what happens, man, he's going to be an angry dude. And that boy bouncy, that boy angry. That's what's going to happen. And then in the Navis office, Femi's arguing with Ricky Saints, and he says, you know what? Next week, Homecoming, you two are going to be part of the Grayson Waller effect. And then, and Obafemi goes, oh great, another loudmouth I have to deal with. Obafemi, I hope you knock out Grayson Waller, or Ricky Saints. So both of you guys tell Grayson Waller to shut up for once. But then Trick Williams walks in, TNA World Champ Trick Williams walks in, and he goes, David, you know what we talked about, title? Yeah, we did. And so I'm going to call it DIY. And then Obafemi's like, oh, another loudmouth. And then Trick Williams goes, you and I, we ain't done yet. Look, Trick Williams going to be double champion now. Anyways, DIY addresses the Orlando PC crowd when they came out here, and then they're about to address Trick Williams. Trick Williams comes out and starts talking smack to them, but he said, "But it's only two of us. Last time, you know what? I came in, but I didn't come in alone." And Carmelo Hayes comes back to NXT, and says a few things, to Trick Williams, and they're starting to argue a little bit, and then all of a sudden, Trick Williams kind of agrees, but then DIY, he was like, "Oh my goodness," and then Carmelo Hayes tells DIY to shut up and all that, and so DIY challenges the Trick Mello Gang to a tag team matchup next week at Homecoming. That has been made official. But the fun doesn't stop there. The Speed Women's match part 2, Fabi Apache went up against Lainey Reed. And then the tennis was Natalia. In fact, she's facing Fabi Apache in the number 1 contenders match for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship, equivalent to the AAA to the Women's Championship, but is held by La Hydra. Lady Flamer is the champion. La Hydra is one half of the mixed tag team champions in AAA with Mr. Iguana, who's been having a thing for Lola Vice. Mr. Iguana, you got your lady friend there who's about equally as gorgeous as Lola Vice. Come on now. Anyways, Natalia jumps, when Fabi Apache is about to finish off Lainey Reed, Natalia jumps at ringside to distract her. Lainey Reed takes advantage. In fact, she will be facing Candice LeRae in the finals to determine who will face Sol Ruka for the Women's Speed Championship at No Mercy. And speaking of Sol Ruka, she was talking to Zarya, and Zarya goes, "How are you going to wear the belts?" And he's like, "I'll do the sash. I got the one on my waist. And the other one, this is ridiculous, but I need to win this matchup." She needs it. And then Hank and Tank goes, "They're our favorite tag team. Those are our favorite tag teams." And they were having a lot of fun doing the belly boy thing. I smell victory. And, so we got our secret weapon. We might do it again. Who knows? And so, hey, and then Sol Ruka goes, "You do your thing, we'll do ours." And then Blake Monroe addresses Jordan Grace. And Blake Monroe has got a little bit of a dark side in her. I think she's probably that dark side that had her feud with the timeless one, Toni Storm, in AEW. If that's the case, Jordan Grace better watch her back, because I think this is going to be a dark glamour, per se. And I think the mind games, and I think she's getting in touch with that dark side that helped her defeat Toni Storm, the timeless Toni Storm, or the AEW Women's Championship when she was known as Mariah May. So that could come into play as far as the persona of Blake Monroe. Watch it, and watch her very closely. The NXT Tag Team titles are on the line. Dark State defending it with Osiris Griffin and Dion Lennox being the defending champs against Hank and Tank. Meanwhile, then Shaquan Sugars and Cutler James get involved, and Cutler James did a stupid thing, saying Joe Hendry's name. Joe Hendry comes out through that little barrier there, but it did not work. Shaquan Sugars, you're going to need another person to watch the backs of Joe Hendry and Hank and Tank, and unfortunately, Shaquan Sugars helped Dark State take advantage, and Dark State retains the tag team titles. That means they'll go into Homecoming as tag team champions. The question is, will they cause chaos? And if so, who is going to stop Dark State? NXT Anonymous showed a video of Ethan Page talking to Miles Bourne. Oh, you mean like that, or are you going to do something about it? And so Lexis King was talking to Charlie Dempsey in the NXT locker room, talking smack, and then Miles Bourne grabs a steel chair and says, "You think I'm finished with you?" And he turns off the lights and he starts attacking Lexis King with a steel chair, and he goes, "You and I, we ain't done yet," he says. I'm telling you, Miles Bourne probably took that advice and did what he did. And then, speaking of Ethan Page, he had a flag match against Tavion Heights. And heck of a matchup, but Tavion Heights wins the matchup. And then, as Team Hutch was waving the flag and then puts the Canadian flag on Ethan Page, Tyler Breeze shows up. Prince Pretty. And we come to find out that next week, the North American title will be on the line as Ethan Page defends it against Tyler Breeze. Look into my eyes. Yeah, so Tyler Breeze is back on NXT. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. That's for sure. And, so, look into my eyes. Oh my God, it's Tyler. Gotta love it. And then they have the documentary on Lola Vice at home in Little Havana, Miami, Cuba. In Miami, Florida. Excuse me. She's originally from Cuba, I think. Anyways, and she visited her father's dojo. Her father should be hired by the WWE as Lola Vice's manager because he's very enthusiastic. Training the martial arts, he's very enthusiastic about it, and also trained Lola Vice's younger sister, of course. But like I said, her father, that entire family is cool and awesome. I like her father. Her father's got this enthusiasm and all that. I said, just hire him WWE and put him on as her manager because I think that's gonna. It's like Jose Lothario with Shawn Michaels. Why not have her father accompany Lola to ringside, and as she gets ready to kick JC Jane's butt for the NXT Women's Championship at No Mercy? I'm telling you right now, Fated Influence will be falling like a deck of cards, like a deck or a house of cards when Lola Vice gets done with JC Jane. More on Fatal Influence as they were talking about that, and he said, "Get it." And then he's a little bit more gloss on the lips. You sure? Yeah. And so Jasmine X puts a little bit more gloss, and here we go to the ring as the women's tag team title on the line in a triple threat elimination matchup. We come to find out the first team to get eliminated was Soruka and Zarya after a misfire. In fact, when Soruka went to go hit Tatum Paxley with the Soul Snatcher, Zarya pushed Tatum Paxley out of the way for some weird reason, and she ended up getting Snow Snatch. I got a bad feeling that Soruka and Zarya will split at the seams, and then I think Zarya will probably want to challenge Soruka for the women's North American title at No Mercy. And if that's the case, Soruka will have to work double duty, and I think that what's going to happen too is if that match goes on first, Zarya will probably beat Soruka senseless to the point where I think No Mercy could be the event that Soruka loses both of those championships. And I got a little hunch too that holding those two championships could get into her head a little bit. So Soruka better watch her attitude. But I know she didn't mean to hit Zarya, and then Zarya was a legal person in the ring. Tatum Paxley took advantage of that, and then the culling ended up taking advantage of that situation and everything else, and picking up the victory for this triple threat match. And then JC Jane's yelling at Jasmine Nixon, Fallon Henley, saying, you two are worthless, useless, and you screwed up everything. And then but two cars pulled up in the PC. Who is in those cars? Well, and then they cut the commercial. Commercial breaks over. JC Jane's still in the ring, running her mouth and saying that she's bragging about being the NXT Women's Champion of all time. You know what? After this and No Mercy, after all this is done before this month is up, JC Jane and Fatal Influence are going to have a nightmare in October because none of them are going to be having championships, and I think all of them will be split apart at the seams. And I would not be surprised if Fallon Henley decided, well, since Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen have a new attitude like she does, probably bring up Country Grit back together. And you know, the Raw Tag Team division needs some more tag teams. Call up OTM. Bring Briggs and Jensen back together with Fallon Henley. Call up Country Grit. You want the tag team? If the New Day wants the tag team to be revived, get some more tag teams on Monday Night Raw. Get them from NXT. Put Hank and Tank up there. I don't care. We got some new fresh blood. They need to get some TV time. Why not? It'll be simple. Let's move Swipe Right from Evolve to the NXT roster. And why the heck not? Let's get them going, you know? That's what I say. But, so JC Jane still runs her mouth, and all of a sudden, Stephanie McCare, the former NXT Women's Champ, arrives. I said, I think I know why that was canceled. She took a detour flight to Orlando, Florida. So there is that. So anyways, Stephanie McCare says, hey, I know you beat me for the title. I'll give you credit, but I've held the NXT Women's Championship and the Women's North American title at the same time. And so JC Jane goes, Stephanie, great to see you again. And then JC Jane runs her mouth a little bit more, and then Stephanie McCare goes, you know what time it is? Tiffany Stratton shows up. Joins up with McCare and asks the NXT Universe, hey, NXT Universe, what time is it? Tiffany time. And she and then she goes, hey, JC, you know, I'm the WWE Women's Champion, greatest champion of all time. But, you know, so they start, and then JC Jane goes, oh, you two are like the seniors that, you know, came back to high school, really pathetic to say. And then Tiffany goes, I don't think Mommy will like to hear that. I was like, no way. They brought, yep, Rhea Ripley shows up. And Rhea Ripley shows up, and she goes, greatest women of champion, NXT Women's Champion of all time? I don't think so. Yeah, you know, and you know what? There's three of you, there's three of us, and then they said, hey, so we'll see you at Homecoming. It'll be perfect. So next week, also, NXT Homecoming Full Sail, it will be a 6-woman tag match, Fatal Influence, the team of NXT Women's Champ JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix to take on the team of Stephanie McCare, Rhea Ripley, and the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton. That is going to be a great matchup overall. Let me tell you, it's going to be insane next week on NXT. Am I excited? Yes, I am. It's going to be great. Who knows who will show up? Also, that's right. Who knows who's going to show up next week on NXT? You know, if JCT keeps running her mouth about being the greatest NXT Women's Champion of all time, there's a young lady from the land of the rising sun who probably would spit some mist in your face, JC Jane. And that'd be none other than Asuka. And believe me, I'm going to tweet JC Jane about that. Hey. So, I'm going to do that after I get off here. So I will see. So that is it for the NXT Event Center report for September the 9th, 2025. 10:25 p.m. I can't wait to upload this episode. Again, I want to thank everybody who has jumped into the live stream from my off the regular Shenanigans Part 4. Thank you very much for your support. Appreciate it wholeheartedly. If you watch the video, check it out if you can. All right? So I will see you guys later tomorrow. Like I said, pull that one-arm bandit for the Joker's Wild. Yo soy natural triple. I'm going to try to say it like that. And not only that, though. And not only that, we'll be watching AEW Dynamite. As you know, we're about a street fight, a Philly street fight. Once again, AEW Dynamite will be taking place in the 2300 Arena in Philly. As a Philly street fight happens, as Timeless Tony Storm takes on Sky Blue and the Battle of the Booties, because according to a lot of wrestling fans, they got nice booties. And that's all I'm going to say on that matter. But also WWE Evolve. What's going to happen next tomorrow night on WWE Evolve, we'll find out for sure. If they actually air the episode on time. We'll see what happens then. I'm Eric Lima for Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. See you later, and until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.